Hello and welcome to this week's episode of Buy This Watch, a super hot smoking deal, one worth checking out. Now some things to point out. I don't own these watches, I don't know these dealers, and therefore I do not warrant these purchases. These just so happen to be a really great deal that I found as I was watch hunting. Figured I'd pass it along to you. You'll also want to note that in the title of the episode is the date. By the time you see this episode, these watches may not still be available. Still worth checking out though, because if it's still available, it might be a watch you want to have a closer look at. Happy hunting.
Welcome back to another edition of Buy This Watch. And we have a kind of a funny episode ahead of us. First up the bat, these two watches from last week are still available. And the Tutima, I'm pretty sure, went down in price. I can't believe these are still out there. Not because I'm promoting them, just because they're at really great pricing. This Tutima at this price is even more of a steal. I just have too many. And the Hamilton, while I love it, I know it's going to be too big for me. It's just a gorgeous watch at a great price. So we'll see if those. I'm going to leave these up in my pick click for this to see if they still linger about. We're going to look at a line of watches today from Seiko. Seiko Giugiaro. Giugiaro, the Italian car designer and designer of other things. Probably most notable in the watch community because of the Ripley, the watch that was single-handedly skyrocketed in price because of urban gentry. Thank you, TGV. But the re-edition of Ripley 1460, when this came out, this was a $300 watch. I owned the black one. I think I got the black one for like $250 back in the day. I think I flipped it for $400, and now the black one is going for $1,700. Well, at least it's being listed as such. But there are other exciting designs from Seiko when they partnered with Giugiaro and the Spirit design program. I love this one. I'd like to see this in person. They don't make it anymore. I'd have to buy it in order to try it. I know it's going to be too big for me based on the dimensions. I think this is like 44-ish across. It's going to be huge, but I find it strangely beautiful. And if I had a bigger wrist and if I was always going to races in Italy, I think this would be one of the watches I would wear to the races. This watch has a... We're going to come back up here in a minute. I want to find the companion Astron watch. Gosh, where is it? There's another one in the Seiko Giugiaro Astron line. We'll find that in a hot minute. And then there's this one over here. This is an odd duck, this one. This has an unusual bracelet strap because this one was meant to go around the bars of a mountain bike. Kind of an odd one. Kind of cool too, though. Bit of a wild card. We're going to be seeing a lot of wild card watches today. This one. Crazy. Neat. Oh, what do we have over here? Oh, Sportura. Here's a green one of that bike one. All right, let's cut to it. Let me find a good example. Oh, we'll go here. This is the watch we want to look at today, the Seiko Giugiaro Rider. And the neat thing about this watch, there's several, but they've got a lot of different color designs. So instead of me, pointing out one listing to look at, I want to look at this line. This is a really cool watch for a handful of reasons. It's like a 42, and this watch was made for motorcyclists because you can see that the dial itself is offset for like a driving watch, but the case itself is raised and ramped. So if you're riding your bike, you can tell the time really easily. But I started my sort going high-low. Let's flip this to going low-high. This is the best way to hunt for Giugiaro, is low-high mode. Here we have our first one. Is this used? Let's see. It's been opened. It's in good shape. $215 for the red black. They've got blue and black, $232. That's a great price. Black and orange, silver and orange. This one, kind of neat. Semi-zombie colors, green and purple. The chronograph hand is in purple. I rather like this color scheme. But this one here is probably the pick of the litter at the moment. Black with gray, and this is actually a white. This is more white. This is not a yellow button. Oh wow, this one's pretty chowdered. Let's pick another one. I think this is stock image, but see how that's bright white. I like this one the most in terms of the available color scheme. This is the mountaineering one. Keep clicking on that bad example. I don't know how much mountaineering a person would do with this unless you're canyon carving in your bike. Neat watch. And they have a couple other watches in this line that are offset. This watch, not this color scheme, but this watch is pretty cool too. Let's find it in another odd duck. Then there's this diver that's offset to the left. Oh, you know what? I'm set to only see buy it now. I want to clear all, I want to see all. That's why some of these aren't popping. Here's the watch. I owned this watch for a hot minute. I wanted to experience it. I got it at a fabulous price. Way too big for me, way too big for me. But highly motorsport influenced with the Astron movement. A cool watch. If it was smaller, I would have likely have kept it. Neat watch. So here's one with the offset to the right. This watch, I think this is the Bishop watch from Aliens, unless I'm mistaken. Cool watch. So if you're in the market for a watch for your bike, here's a cheaper alternative to the Vacheron Constantin American 1921. Oh, 900 bucks. This is a lot for this watch, but it's not a bad price considering the urban gentry tax that got applied to it. All right, so that is chiefly the watch of the day. And we're gonna go a little wild and out in a true Wildcard Watch fashion. As I cruise for various Seikos, every now and then a Goonie watch pops up, and I can't even believe this watch exists. The Seiko Golden Crocodile Cabane de Zucca. Wow. What is good? Oh, it's the crocodile. Oh, that's hilarious. Oh my goodness. And even the tail is purposely curved. That's not a trick of light. Cabane de Zucca, from what I gather, I did some quick research. They're a fashion house out of Japan. And wow, what a crazy watch. If this was all gold, this would be a $60,000 watch with all that weight. Hilarious. But they also have one in green that I am rarely without words. I'd say that if this had a better module in it, even if it was a quartz three-hander, I'd be tempted. I'd be so tempted. I'd feel like an idiot immediately. But kind of neat, if nothing else, kind of weird. And there you have it. Buy this watch, and I am including this in the thumbnail because I find this watch hilarious. I'm glad it's out there, but it's probably not going to be in my collection. Pick up a Seiko Spirit. If you do, let me know. The person who bought the Bulgari Diagonal Scuba actually reached out. They bought it because they watched the video. You know who you are. Congratulations on that purchase. I'm so glad to hear you're loving it. And thanks for stopping by in this hobby of ours.